Okay to come in?
Yes, yes. Hello. Hello.
How are you?
Good, how are you?
Good. Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
I'm Ben.
Hi, Ben. Hello, Tina.
Yeah, nice to see you.
Likewise. Can we close the door and please get this question? Close the door and please get this. Excellent. I think we can start with meditation to come to calmness and relaxation. Please close your eyes and come to a meditation posture. Breathing in and breathing out mindfully and slowly. Notice your body's present feelings, any calmness or any agitation. Or even expectations, thoughts, planning. Allow things to be. And we practice acceptance, welcoming, being aware of things arising, and they pass. It's the nature of things arising and passing away. You can now slowly and gradually begin to relax your body, starting from your head, releasing and relaxing any tension or any tightness. Your face, smiling gently and observing the body's tensions and any agitation. Release and relax your neck, your shoulders, your back, your stomach, your sitting bones. So far, all the upper parts of your body relaxed. From waist down to your knees and then down to the soles of your feet. Moving mindfully, gently, and adjusting your posture if necessary. You can notice the ground, allowing your body and mind to be deeply rooted here and now in this present awareness. Welcoming any positive energies to the core, to your heart base, mindfully you breathe in, mindfully you breathe out. Mindfully you breathe in, mindfully you breathe out. Which means you are aware of the air flowing through your nostrils to your lungs and then the entire experience of your breath. Observing every detail of it, which means you are attentive to this experience that is happening right now. When your eyes are closed, you are not distracted by what you see, but you can imagine things if you want. But right now, imagine yourself being calm and peaceful, arriving at stillness and peace and tranquility. Reaching luminous mind. With these wholesome intentions in mind, notice that you are also not distracted by hearing, smelling, tasting, physical sensations and thinking. And if they distract you, you let things be and stay with your breath. Notice your body and breath together, breathing in and breathing out, observing the movements, shoulders, the upper body, observe the patterns of your breath, long breath, short breath, inhaling and exhaling, establishing more mindfulness of breathing. cultivate loving thoughts, with thoughts imbued with loving kindness. May I be well. May I be happy. May I be peaceful. May I be calm. May I be free from anger. May I be free from ill will. May my spiritual friends be well and happy. May my parents, children, spouse, and all beings be well and happy. Neutral people, difficult people, all beings in every state, every direction, be well and happy. May all beings in front of me, above me, below me, behind me, in every direction, be well and happy. This is what should be done by one who is skilled in goodness and who knows the path of peace. Let them be able and upright, straightforward and gentle in speech, humble and not conceited, contented and easily satisfied, unburdened with duties and frugal in their way, peaceful and calm and wise and skillful, not proud or demanding in nature. Let them not do the slightest thing that the wise would later reprove. Wishing in gladness and in safety, may all beings be at ease. Whatever living beings there may be, whether they are weak or strong, or meeting none, the great or the mighty, medium, short or small, the seen and the unseen, those living near and far away, those born and to be born, may all beings be at ease. Let none deceive another or despise any being in any state. Let none through anger or ill will wish harm upon another. Even as a mother protects with her life her child, her only child, so with a boundless heart should one cherish all living beings, radiating kindness over the entire world, spreading upwards to the skies and downwards to the depths, outwards and unbounded, freed from hatred and ill will, whether standing or walking, seated or lying down, free from drowsiness. One should sustain this recollection. This is said to be the sublime abiding. By not holding to fixed fields, the pure-hearted one, having clarity of vision, being freed from all sense desires, is not born again into this world. you can slowly come out of meditation and relax, stretching yourself. So, hope you had good meditation. Happy to see everyone here at Peace House and online. This was organized rather quickly. We decided to do a monthly Dharma talk, and we decided on a date. Happened to be Monday, and today happened to be the last day of January. So we kind of rushed in a way to have all these technicalities and all figured out. So our superwoman, Cora, our director, made sure that everything works perfectly well. So far, we have not had any problems. So it seems like everything is fine. So we will be doing monthly live streamings and sort of hybrid events, especially this Dhamma talk on the last Monday of the month. So for today's one, we picked the discourse on advantages of loving kindness. This is a teaching of the Buddha from the gradual discourses of the Buddha. So these small teachings are very powerful and very beneficial to learn, so that we learn why we practice metta, loving kindness, and why the Buddha has taught this. So he begins. I will also include Pali here for our convenience. So metta here means loving kindness. Anisansa means advantages, benefits of reaching excellence in loving kindness. So we need to keep in mind that this is not just for anyone who has done little mindfulness. It is for those who reach the excellence, the I would say absolute loving kindness practitioners who reach to the fullest of it. But you will slowly start noticing that, oh, these changes are happening in my life. Maybe my loving kindness is working. So this is like a parameter that tells us the practice is working for us. So it begins with mettaya bhikkhave ceto vimuttiya asevitaya, and then it goes on. Ekadasa anisansa patikanka. Ekadasa anisansa. 11 benefits. Patikanka can be expected. So it's giving us the idea that you can expect these things, these advantages, these benefits, only if you do this. Okay, let's see what we have to do. Mettaya bhikkhave ceto vimuttiya asevitaya. So familiarizing oneself from the release of mind with the thoughts of loving kindness. So you have so many things here. Release, mind, deliverance is another word. So we do loving kindness. I may have said mindfulness in place of loving kindness before, but at least once. But when you develop, when you associate, meaning you familiarize yourself with loving kindness, thoughts of loving kindness, which means the opposite of anger, ill will. And then you reach to the release of your mind. You realize that there is no further to be developed. That kind of realization, that this is the maximum one can do. So for one, the alternative translation is, for one whose awareness released through goodwill is cultivated. So another word for mindfulness, loving kindness is goodwill, benevolence. So when you reach to the release of mind by excelling or reaching to the absolute level of loving kindness, and also bhavitaya, by the cultivation of loving kindness. Bhavita and bhavana are two similar, very similar words. Bhavana means meditation. In that we cultivate wholesome qualities, good thoughts, good qualities in mind. So it is called a cultivation in mind. It's like a flower garden. In there you keep all the nice plants and you pull out the weeds and you say, I like you, but I don't want you. And bahuli kataya, by constantly increasing these thoughts. So it's not like today you have loving kindness and tomorrow you decide to get angry and stay grumpy, and maybe 1 week later you have loving kindness again. It's not like that. Constantly increasing these thoughts of loving kindness. Yani kataya. Yana is a vehicle. You get to places using your car. So loving kindness is your car, not a Honda or not a Toyota or anything like that. Loving kindness is my car. So when you do it that way, by regarding loving kindness as a vehicle, but in parentheses I find as a vehicle of expression. It's not exactly the Pali. Pali says yani kataya, making it your vehicle. Loving kindness is your vehicle. You travel everywhere in the vehicle of loving kindness. The other day, the HDS students were here and they asked, one of them asked, from our guest speaker, the Buddhist nun, can nuns wear makeup? Before she answered, I said, yes, you can wear the makeup of loving kindness, which is very inexpensive. You don't have to spend money to buy it. But the problem is no one is selling it, right? There's no price tag for it. It's here that you find it and then you cultivate it. Vattu kataya. So this is also as something to be treasured. This is my precious jewel. This is my diamond. Loving kindness is my precious thing. It's something I should protect all the time. It's like having jewelry at home. So you have this wanting to protect them. So loving kindness is something you keep as a precious something, vattu. The Buddha says children are like precious things for parents. You always need to protect them, guard them. So it's like that. So you protect loving kindness. Anuttitaya, by living in conformity with these thoughts. So you accept them, accept the thoughts of loving kindness, which is sometimes not easy to do, because it's easy to get angry. It's easy to express annoyance. It's easy to say bad words. It's easy. But then you decide, I will live according to the thoughts of loving kindness. This needs special attention, more mindfulness, increased awareness. Parichitaya, by putting these ideas into practice. So parichita is someone who has experience of practicing more and more. So you come to Wednesday loving kindness meditations of Peace House for 3 years without missing one. So you get more practice of it. Susamaradhaya, and by establishing them. So in today's practice from breathing meditation, we went to radiating loving kindness, establishing loving kindness in all directions, not just you. You establish them in every direction, endlessly. You have so many faces, people that you can think of. You can also cultivate numerous thoughts of loving kindness, and that way you feel like it's firmly established in you. You come to that state in your own realization. So these 11 benefits can be expected. What are the 11? Katame Ekadasa. The first one is Sukhang Supati. He sleeps well, happily. So Sukhang means happily. Why a person who has loving kindness sleep happily? Imagine your neighbor being angry with you, right? So you move into this neighborhood and your neighbor doesn't like you, and they always remove all that snow to your driveway, and then you complain and they don't listen, and the anger and irritation increases. And can you sleep happily? No, you think of your neighbor when you go to sleep. You make plans and your mind gets so restless and busy. And you buy the best mattress in the world thinking that you can get good sleep. It doesn't help. You buy the mansion, the best of everything, best of the mansion. You can't sleep. So you need to have loving kindness in your heart to be able to relax and feel comfortable when you go to bed. Not agitated, not angry, not complaining, not irritated. This is that kind of loving kindness. If you have anger, it's like drinking poison and wanting somebody else to die. It doesn't happen.
That's great metaphor.
People think that I'm angry about so and so person, but you're actually having anger and wanting some place or somebody to express it. So whole point of learning loving kindness meditation is to notice that tendency in us, that we have it in here. When conditions are ready, we express it. And we are the ones to suffer. It's like keeping something burning in your hand and wanting somebody else to get burnt. It's you who's going to get burnt. But our expectation is that somebody else will get burnt. And the other second advantage is he awakes in comfort. You wake up happily. You don't wake up tired, yawning, and not wanting to live your life anymore, not complaining about your sleep or anything. So, because you love yourself, therefore you go to bed at the right time. That's because you care for your body. You have loving kindness to your body. And that way you get enough sleep, you wake up with goodwill in your mind, with fresh, nice thoughts like a flower. Very nice and fresh. And the other one is, so I'll say the Pali, Sukhang Patibujjati. So Patibujjati, you wake up sukhang, happily. Na papakang supinang passati. You don't see evil dreams. Papakang supinang, evil dreams. So nightmares. So someone who has cultivated loving kindness to the excellence, they don't hate anyone. They don't have difficult people in their mind. So you only have maybe dreams of someone living happily or someone being successful, your neighbor being happy, and maybe you are meditating, these kind of dreams. It doesn't mean that you will not have any dreams. You will have dreams. But even if you have a nightmare situation, you will quickly remind yourself of loving kindness and heal. Increase your loving kindness in your mind. And the fourth advantage is he is dear to human beings. Manussanang piyo hoti. Everybody loves you and they like to have you around. Think of a person like that. They like you not because you have anything to give to them or anything, but you are naturally a person who says kind words, who speaks kind words, who smiles, who looks at people happily with kindly eyes, kindly thoughts, privately and publicly. You can also look at someone with angry eyes. Remember when my father, he doesn't say much when we do a mistake. He only looks at us. Or he does, and we know we made a mistake. So he just scratch his throat and we know that is how he disciplines us. So, but when you are a person, a boss or a leader, you always find the smartest, kindest way to express or say something, or you have the effort to get there. And it's shown through your actions and way you communicate, email or texting and everything. And the other advantage is number 5. He is dear to non-human beings. Amanussanam piyohoti. So amanusa is someone who is not a manusa, not a human being. So think of someone who is not a human being, divine beings, angels, and also animals, your pets. They are also non-humans. They like you. So if you go to Sri Lanka or India or Myanmar, in these countries, you see lots of street animals. They are abused a lot. People throw stones at them. You don't see that here. It's very rare to see in East Coast at least. It's very rare to see a street animal. Maybe in the West Coast because the weather is warmer and animals can roam. I've seen in Agrigento in Italy, many cats roam freely because the weather is warm there. And it's in their city that we live. That's the feeling I got. So people love them. Is it in, what's the country? Turkey, where cats are loved so much? Yes. It's like that.
In Rome too.
In Rome too, right? Then this other benefit, other advantage, Devata Rakhanti, that's a special one. So in Amanus, the non-human, we don't include divine beings. We don't have to because we have one. Devas, Deva means divine beings. They protect you. When they see you in trouble, they guide you. when there is you have seen these videos sometimes of accidents, and you see it's a miracle that they survived. And then you say maybe some angels protected them. So this is what comes to my mind when I see this. It's like, when something harmful is going to happen to you, when a danger is coming towards you, because of the power of loving kindness, they like you, they protect you. They are like the armor that protects you. And the other advantage is nasa agiva visangva sattamva kamati. So fire, poison, and sword cannot harm him. So there are three things. Fire cannot harm you. Swords. So satta is a sword, and visa is poison. So one way to look at it is that when you are burnt, you get healed quickly because of the power of your loving kindness. Same with the poison, and also if you are cut, you get healed because of the power of loving kindness. The other way to look at it is you don't get into these situations where someone burns you or someone poisons you, someone uses a weapon against you, because you don't have that kind of haven't caused that kind of trouble, or you have not attracted energy of that kind from others. So everyone is your friend. They don't have any reason to use a weapon against you. But obviously, if someone uses a weapon to harm you, it's possible that it can harm us when you are not able to defend ourselves. So then this makes us think, is it talking about actual fire, actual poison, or is it talking about fire of greediness in our mind, lust in our mind, the poison of anger in our mind, right? So when you think of what is poisoning us inside of our mind, what is the fire, like when you badly want something, that's fire. And the weapon of, and think of something in your mind that is like a weapon. Can you think of something? Maybe still anger, right? Anger. Hatred is like a weapon. It's really heavy, like a mountain. So they cannot harm you. So you can think of it in many ways. The words don't explain. This is a very short sutra, so it doesn't say what I think it implies that these things don't harm you. You don't get into such situations, but you can play with, you can think of these in detail and understand that it's something that is inside also that may not bother you. It's like greed, hatred, and delusion, the three poisons that we speak about in Buddhist language. They cannot harm you, like fire, poison, and weapons. The other advantage is, because of the power of loving kindness, his mind can concentrate quickly. Tuvatang chittang samadhiyati. Tuvatang means quickly. Chittang is your mind. Samadhiyati. Come to stillness. Samadhi, collectedness. Very, very still and calm. The opposite of it is, if you have anger, quickly your mind gets very restless. So I think it's self-explanatory. Then the other one is, I think, the thing about makeup. Mukhavanno vippasidati. his countenance is serene. He looks, his complexion, his doesn't matter what color of the skin they have, what color, but they are so pleasant. It's because they can smile. Their heart is shown from their face. That that is how you can tell by looking at a person if they are angry or if they are displeased, grumpy, or if they are pure-hearted with loving kindness. You can tell, right, by looking at a person. So, and it increases this vipasidati. Pasidati is, pleasant, and vipasidati is very pleasant. You are very pleasant when you have excelled loving kindness. And number 10, he said there are 11. Number 10 is asammulho kalang karoti. He dies without being confused in mind. Think about someone who dies confused, and think about someone who has accepted that death happens, illnesses happen, this is the way, this is the nature, and that they have contemplated of the end of their life well enough that they don't have any fear about it, that the power of loving kindness has already given them a good life, because that's how you went everywhere, that's the vehicle, that's your precious object, everyone protected you, you had a good life. You created it yourself with the powerful thoughts of loving kindness, and you are not afraid where you are headed after leaving this body, about your rebirth, where you will be born, etc. No fear of it. So you die mindfully. Because it says it's a major event we know from birth to death, too many things happen, but it doesn't end when you just abandon this body. It takes another form. Whatever that form is, you are mindful there. You have loving kindness, and you don't fear the afterlife. So the last one is, if he fails to attain anything superior, the highest attainment, such as becoming an arahant, that is the final purity of someone, like the purest one. If you do not attain any one of that, any of those superior stages, here and now he will be reborn in the Brahma world. Uttaring appati vijjanto. So uttaring is something noble, very high state, suprahuman state. If you don't reach that far, uttaring appati vijjanto brahmaloka upagato hoti. You arrive like you sleep and wake up. You arrive in Brahma world, Brahmaloka. So Brahma world is the world of the divine, the pure beings. It's an existence because their hearts have reached that state because of the power of their meditation, and that's a very happy state to be. So it's very hard to get at, and they live eons and eons once you are born in that state. It's not a life that ends like in 60 to 100 years or so. It's eons of life, eons of happiness. You want that? If you want that, loving kindness is the way. Nothing is free in the world. So said the Blessed One, and those monks rejoiced at the words of the Blessed One. So it's 6:33 now. And do you have any questions? You can unmute and speak or raise your hand or say whatever you learned or you are surprised with. This is our first monthly Dhamma talk, so we like to learn from you. I think you are able to unmute yourself if you want. Now you can.
That was my first one of those sessions. I just wanted to thank you so very much. I learned a lot and you explained it so well. And I loved the analogies, really helpful. So I have a lot to take away. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you for your kind words.
And you're already looking sukham.
Yes, I feel happy and I am in sukham. I am in happiness here.
I am too. Thank you.
The Buddha has said sharing Dhamma is sharing the highest gift, giving the highest gift.
Thank you, Kusala.
Thank you, Lolly.
That was very special, and I look forward to more.
Well, that's so sweet to say that. Thank you. Thank you. I see a comment here. Him saying, I have no questions, but I do want to thank you. I learned so much and have much to think about. You were wonderful. Kind words. Thank you very, very much. So we have many teachings like this from Buddhist tradition, from other traditions that we can talk about on our monthly discussions like this. We can also have guest speakers and have them teach something to us. So we are learning as we go and look forward to more Dhamma, not drama.
Thank you very much, Kusala. So good to see so many people, some familiar faces joining in.
Absolutely. Thank you. Thank you. Anyone of you have questions?
I have one question. Can you tell us about the relationship between loving kindness and mindfulness?
Loving kindness and mindfulness. So loving kindness is a sublime state. Mindfulness is also not a sublime state, but a wholesome state. We need mindfulness. We need to be mindful of loving kindness all the time. If we are forgetful of loving kindness, then we maybe find ourselves in situations of expressing ourselves angrily and unhappily. So that kind of a person, especially someone who is always complaining, they need loving kindness and mindfulness together. So mindfulness is also in the Eightfold Path, the Noble Eightfold Path. It's not in the very beginning, it's toward the end, but with right vision and understanding, you cultivate more mindfulness, increased mindfulness. So loving kindness is not so much mentioned in the Noble Eightfold Path, but the Buddha taught it more than he taught the breathing meditation. So it's that powerful. And mindfulness is also an awakening factor. It's a power, it's a faculty that should be cultivated. Loving kindness is a divine state that is a protection, is a necessity that every monk, every practitioner should cultivate to attain, like we learned today, to reach calmness quickly. So I think those are the differences that I can think about. Did I answer your question?
Thank you.
You're welcome. Yeah.
I came in with a heavy heart
Mm-hmm.
and a pain in my heart.
Mm.
And my heart is now grateful
Mm.
and thankful and lighter. Thank you.
You're welcome. So our friend here says she came with a heavy heart and she is now expressing gratitude, gratefulness, and thankfulness to us. Thank you. Thank you for the kind words. She has been coming to our lunch hour meditations. She came today too, and she wanted to come to this event. Great. Anything else? Anyone else? Okay, we can end the session now by transferring merits. May the suffering ones be suffering free, fear struck, fearless be. May the grieving shed all grief, may all beings be at peace. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. Thank you, everyone. Have a great rest of the week. See you again, maybe next time. Good
Take
night.
care, everyone.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Thank you so much.